When I told people that I was in a long distance relationship, people always seemed to react with like a, oh
my God, I don't know how you do it.
I've had people say that our relationship isn't really representative of real life.
I really liked the hype that I would feel like before I would go to see him.
Even before I got there, I would already be dreading the goodbye.
Many people believe that a relationship can only be real if partners are in constant close proximity. But in fact, living apart is incredibly common. More than 3.5 million Americans live apart from their spouses, and 75% of college students have been in a long-distance relationship. When it comes to long-distance relationships, is it really out of sight, out of mind? Or does absence make the heart grow fonder? Some couples thrive with a little distance between them. This difference is mostly a product of your personal romantic attachment style. There are two dimensions of romantic attachment: anxiety and avoidance.
People can be high or low in attachment-related anxiety, which has to do with fear of abandonment and concerns over acceptance. These are the kind of people who are like, do you love me? Do you really love me? Are you sure you love me? And attachment-related avoidance is all about sort of discomfort with closeness. People high in attachment avoidance prefer to be self-reliant, don't want to be dependent on, and don't want to depend on others.
And then there is a third kind of person, the securely attached, who is low in both anxiety and avoidance and is easily able to form relationships with others. But where you fall on the spectrum may help explain why some people are more comfortable with long-distance relationships than others.
Given the things that are important to an anxious person, such as needing excessive reassurance and looking to the partner to be a secure base, I can imagine that it would be more difficult for an anxious person to withstand the physical distance of a long-distance relationship.
But all this doesn't necessarily mean that your personality alone will ensure your LDR's survival. The way you and your partner work together is crucial to its success.
Your attachment style is malleable and depends on the kind of responsive caregiving you get from a close other. If you have a relationship partner who is responsive to you, who provides you with understanding, validation, care, it could lead to the development of security in that particular relationship.
Of course, there's more at work in a successful long-distance relationship than attachment styles. Some couples genuinely appreciate aspects of being apart.
There are people for whom the long-distance relationship is mutually chosen and therefore mutually beneficial.
Beneficial how? Studies found that couples in long-distance relationships reported higher levels of overall satisfaction than couples in close proximity.
For some people, it really offers a separation between the erotic and the domestic. You have your home, I have my home, you have your garbage can, I have my garbage can, and when we meet, we don't do garbage cans.
Apparently, not doing everything together might just help couples keep the flame burning. And with garbage cans out of the picture, couples in LDRs might be better at actually talking to each other. Communication professor Jeff Hancock asked students who live both near and far from their partners to keep diaries of their interactions.
One of the most surprising things about long-distance relationships is that they tend to have really high intimacy compared to geographically close ones. And the reason for that, I think, is that when you're in a long-distance relationship, each of those interactions is focused and important and more intimate.
According to Hancock, when they're far away, partners disclose more about themselves to one another. But they also form an idealized version of their other halves from the little bits of them they see online.
We take that little bit and we blow it up in our minds, so we make over-attributions. In long-distance relationships, this leads to idealization. So I think my partner's actually really sweet, really a good listener, really funny. So it's a less is more kind of principle, and it leads to intense relationships.
This idealization can help explain why couples who live far apart report being happier in their relationships than those who don't.
So we found that even though people felt better about their relationships, thought there was a lower likelihood of breaking up, in fact, they weren't any less likely to break up later on.
Right, and that's the catch. What happens when you get back together after months of long-distance idealization and realize that you're both just flawed humans?
And often it helps to have, to come up with a scenario that actually addresses some of the needs of both and allow them to re-enter. It's like any foreign assignment. Leaving is much easier than the repatriation.
A study of reunited relationships found that 1/3 terminate within 3 months of reunion. Reunited couples also often struggle with the loss of independence and experience bouts of conflict and jealousy.
When they get back together, they have to give themselves some space for the readjustment. And don't judge the relationship for that awkward first hug or dinner. Give yourself some room to just get back into sync. It will happen.
Distance doesn't make a relationship any less committed or real. In fact, it has its advantages. Turns out there's a reason the expression is absence makes the heart grow fonder, and not fighting over who gets to use the bathroom in the morning makes the heart grow fonder.